Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's Q&A session, where we have Mr. Chris Palmer and myself looking to answer any question you guys may have. Also, do check out odys.cc if you're interested in age domains or done for you affiliate websites. If you sign up using the link below, you can get yourself £100 bonus just to use it for one of their services. So do check it out. But in the meantime, let us know where you're from, what questions you've got, how things are. Apologies we never came on last week. I suffered badly from the COVID jag, the second COVID jag, and the heat. It was a combination of both. I just felt like dog shit. So yeah, I am back now though. But yeah, all fit and well. But Chris, what is happening with you while these people are coming in with their questions? Anything new happening in the world of Chris Palmer?
Nothing new. I mean, it's pretty much been the same. I'm just I've been just working, man. That's all. I've been working. I'm trying to master like the ad stuff. Primarily YouTube. I feel like maybe I'd like to get a little better with it, so I'm working on that.
Trial and error, but
exactly.
With the ads, anything you can share with us? What mistakes have you made, or what have you found out? Any tips?
Yeah. So here's something that I learned. Right. So you're running your ads and you're accruing, people that are clicking and going over to the site. So, and you're going to do that at first with, like, say, a custom. This is what I learned, and then I weaseled out this process, right? I figured this process out. So as you're doing that and you're starting to accrue the sales, you start to get or not sales, but a couple sales, and then you get the list. And then what you want to do is you want to turn on website visits, because it goes from cost per view to then it's like cost per acquisition. Mm-hmm. So what I noticed is like at first I'm trying to get people to view, and I'm getting as many as I possibly can to get them over to the site. And then once I had that list, now I'm plugging it into website traffic, sending them right to the page. And now you can pay off of a custom audience. Now I can pay for cost per acquisition. So they've been clicking now, but it took me quite a few to figure that piece out. Like it took me $600 to figure that out. So I'm glad I can share that with you.
Yeah, man. But there's always something to learn from these things, and you've sometimes just got to feel the pain yourself. Just fuck it up, and then learn from it.
Dude, I'll probably screw stuff up more than most people.
Also, James Moore, yes, I have caught a bit of the sun. It has been boiling in Scotland for like the last month. So, yeah, Chris Palmer still white as a ghost.
Yeah, and I went to the beach for 2 days.
Oh, did you?
3 days. Yeah, last week I went for 3 days. I just disappeared for 3 days, took the little guy and went and balled out for a couple days.
But also, guys, I need to remind you, if anyone's asking questions and they don't appear in the live chat, if you ask your questions through YouTube, they will pull through and we'll be able to see them. Sometimes certain profiles, certain LinkedIn accounts and stuff, the questions don't pull through because of your own personal settings on your computer, not allowing access to StreamYard. So if you're asking something that doesn't pop up, then make sure you do jump on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe and like and ask your questions. But yeah.
SEO video.
SEO video show.
I'm on with Neil. I was like, oh, okay, got Neil. Okay.
Paul has an amazing. You've been on that show, right?
Yes. Yeah.
His production is fucking class.
Spot on.
And hopefully, I think I'm on it. I don't know if it's the end of August. Can't remember. We're doing it like a year apart, so I'm going to catch up with Paul soon. But Paul has many other great guests, so do check out the SEO video show. Great production, but Paul's also a great guy, and he's a great guest. So check it out. Mr. Mullins from Auckland. Hope you're well, Craig.
Okay.
Derry, Northern Ireland was hitting 30 degrees. Yeah, that's the same kind of shit. We're obviously not far from each other. Northern Ireland's literally just across the water from me. So yeah, we were getting that kind of stuff, and it was actually sickening to a point as well. It's not the same kind of heat. Ryan Houghton is here. Good evening, gents. How are we? I'm good. Chris, all good, you guys? Chris is good. So, and we've also got Glenn up from LA as well as Holly Starks and everyone else, Paul Hogden. So, yeah, get your questions in, guys. But Chris, I want to ask, you obviously have your tool that pulls stuff from the Wayback Machine. How has that all been running since you've launched it? Is all good there?
Yeah, well, there's always bumps, I believe. So I had to give everybody that signed up 30 days as we were fixing some stuff. So, but we're just adding more stuff and making it pull back more, because the main, I don't want to say complaint, but the main thing was, hey, we want to be able to get more. So we're making it give back more and then be able to show the metrics. But aside from that, it's been great. I got rid of everybody that wasn't playing ball. I only kept the people that were cool. And I was like, all right, I'll give you more days.
People that weren't playing ball, were they just like moaning, give me my money back, this is shit and all that?
No one asked. No, there was only one person that was like, hey, I mean, I was only putting stuff out for $20, right? I mean, it's $20. So no one really asked, only one person. That was immediate. Everybody else was just like, hey, the people that were really like, just nonstop, you're done. And then everybody else, I gave extra time, and I'll probably give them even more time.
Yeah.
I'll just load them up. I just want you to stay on so I can keep fixing it, so you can pay for me to fuel to keep fixing it, making it better for me.
Yeah.
Just to be honest, right?
It's always something that you've got to expect when something new launches anyway. There's always going to be teething problems, and things always develop over a period of time. I'm sure if we look at it in 6 months or a year's time, it will be probably 10 more things or whatever. So, good luck with it. That is called articleextract.com for anyone who is wondering what the hell we're talking about. You can borrow, or use content on the Wayback Machine, whatever we want to word that. So check it out. Randy Roday is here. Eric McDonald is also here. So come on, guys, you're slow off the mark with questions. Give us questions. I've not seen Eric McDonald before commenting, so someone new, which is always good. Also, there's always a lot of luckers. When we go away, there's always luckers. So luckers, give us some questions. Don't be shy. Let us know what you want to know. Doesn't have to necessarily be SEO related, just digital related, because we're all always trying different stuff, and Mr. Palmer's always dabbling in things and trying out YouTube ads and all that stuff. Oh, Mr. Chase Rayner.
With the strategy of a lifetime.
Yeah.
I took that strategy, man. I started just running with that.
Oh, man.
That's slick, man. I like that.
Chase is a good guy. Check him out. He gives out a lot of good information, a lot of automation going on his TikTok, I think it is, if I remember correctly. He's someone that you want to be checking out if you like playing around with these things. James Moore has the first question for today. Any tools that you know of to rebuild sites from the Wayback Machine, Chris?
There's a magnitude of different tools now. One of the ones that I've played with in the past, it's like Alvarex. I even think Craig made a video, because I was going to do a video, but he already beat me to it. So I was like, that'll be kind of dumb. So, but there's other ones out there now. So just play with them.
Here's the question I've got for you, Chris. So obviously I've done the video on Archivarix, or however you might want to pronounce it. When I've done that video, a few people come back saying, it's not great, or it's a bit buggy, or the website didn't turn out as I would expect.
Yeah.
Now, would you use a tool, or just pay some freelancer to grab the URLs, the content, and just fuck up a theme? What do you need to rebuild the website as it looked in the Wayback Machine? Because obviously, if you're grabbing stuff, the website was last on it in 2011, would you even want to build a website that looked like that this day and age? I'm just curious. People do it, and they're looking for a tool to rebuild it. But wouldn't it just be easier just paying some guy on like legit a Fiverr or something just to knock up a template and do the rest? Like just going onto Wayback Machine and doing it. Is that not an easier option than looking for these tools? Are these tools that effective?
I have to agree with you on that, and that's what I was throwing around in my mind with my own tool is like, hey, grab it. We already have the HTML, and then just plugging it into a template. Okay, it just launches this. But really, it's so easy to just go there and grab it. There's a lot of other downloaders other than like those builder type things to get it how it was. There's downloaders too.
Yeah.
So like I don't know. Like I'm basically running a downloader. That's pretty much kind of what it does, Yeah. Not HTML though, just the text, because that's all that matters to me, at least.
That's all you need for your tool. Sam Fitzgerald, that's another name I've not seen on here before. How are you, Sam? Make sure you do subscribe. What are the best type of tier 2 links to improve power of guest posts? So I would say niche edits. Chris, what's your answer? The best type of tier 2 link? Obviously, you can do Web 2.0s and all that. What would you throw if you only had one type of tier 2 link? What would you throw at it?
Well, it depends on the budget. Generally, though, I'm looking at either like niche edit safe type deals, or more like the $1 or $2 PBN links, like where you're getting like those, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So 30, 40 of them bad boys at something, you can usually get a little bit of a jump there.
For sure. And Chase is saying my acting in that new show is so good. So you only seen that one show. I was quite nervous because that was my first appearance in that show. Wait, in a week's time, the second episode is out, and it's fucking 10 times better, and I'm fucking very funny in it. So I'm looking forward to seeing that. Honestly, like, I'm like some crazed animal in it, like just crazy. People probably say that you're acting like yourself then, but nah, it was a lot of fun to do, man. Thoroughly enjoyed it. So appreciate the second donation, Chase, and obviously the compliment. I'm taking it. I always get abuse online, so it's nice to get a wee compliment for once. So
you do.
I don't know. I just constantly get fucking abused, man.
You're like the nicest, coolest dude ever. And like, why are these people harassing you?
They've got to harass someone. Like poor Chase has had. If you were to listen to what people say about Chase, you'd not look at the guy again. Do you know what I mean? But
yeah,
Chase is I don't know Chase. As we're drinking buddies or anything, but anytime I've dealt with Chase, it's always been a pleasure and a nice guy and open and honest. So, I don't know. And he gets fucking hell, or I used to get hell online. I'm not sure if that's still the case, but someone's got to be the fall guy, Chris.
That's it.
You must get your fair share of it as well, right?
Yeah, but I don't. I just keep it moving, man.
I just highlight it just for a laugh.
Yeah, I can.
I'm just like, have a look at this fucking dauber. And it's more to educate people, like, because people say, oh, he gets it. Like, if anyone else is trying to do webinars or whatever, I just like them to see what they're getting into. It's not necessarily all fun and games. It's
all your social things are loaded up, not with just the leads and the good stuff like you want. A lot of nonsense. A lot of people calling, people coming to the spot, like just weird stuff. People mailing you stuff, which is kind of cool sometimes. But then other times I'm like, oh man, I wonder what's in there.
Chase saying people mostly leave him alone now. That's always good to hear, Chase. I think you always just get it for a prolonged period of time. If you don't react too much to it, then they kind of fuck off in the end. Next question. Will you be speaking in person at SEO Rockstars Las Vegas? I only seen this yesterday. That's in November in Las Vegas. I've spoke at the last two Rockstars. And one was in 2019 in person. Last year's was online. I haven't yet been asked to speak at it. If I got the opportunity, 100%, but I have not been asked. But I'm pretty sure they would maybe want to have different speakers and can't have the same guys all the time. So I've not been asked yet, and I'm not going to try and angle it because I think, you know, if they want me back, great. But I wasn't necessarily invited as yet, but that might still happen. So I don't know. Is the
I
answer.
loved your presentation. I
like
that a lot. That's what made me start harassing you. Those presentations.
Holly Starks is going to be there, but Holly is also taking a bit of a break from speaking. Holly will be able to verify this as well. Obviously, a lot of my presentation at the last Rockstars in person was edited out. So what you actually seen, Chris, was only a snippet of what I had to say. Because a lot of guys like Mike Pierce and all that kind of stuff are like, dude, that stuff's not going out because we're still making a lot of money from doing that. But to put you in the picture, that was my first speaking gig in America, and I've always done all right at conferences. People like to talk, but I thought I'm going with monsters. Holly was speaking, Clint Butler was speaking. There was all sorts of fucking big names who I massively respect, and I thought I can't go here just talking general. Like I have to go out with some bad stuff. Like I want people to see this with a fucking badass talk, and yeah, I probably went overboard with what I'd done, but people remembered me, and I get invited back last year as well. Dory said to me as well in the last couple, like, your talk was class. So yeah, great event, and you know, even if I don't get asked to go, it's obviously a bit far for me just to travel randomly to go to it. But anyone who does have the opportunity to go to it, I would highly recommend it. Great bunch of people, and even the people sat there at the side that attend the event, people at Holly just turning up. They're fucking massively experienced, and you can pick up a lot of tips from these guys. So yeah, check it out, guys, if you can. Randy Roday will be there as well. Booked his flight and room. Let's go. Are you speaking there, Randy? Let us know. But back to the questions.
So they issued it?
I seen a Facebook ad or something, or I seen it in Clint Butler's post, so I'm not sure. That's not NFG. This is SEO Rockstars Stories event in November. Mike and Brad have their own one in September. So they're two different events, not to be mixed up. I am speaking at Mike and Brad's at the end of September, which is in North Carolina. I will definitely beat that one, providing that I'm allowed to still travel and all that stuff. I'm looking forward to it. So looking forward to that one. But Eric McDonald, link building question. In terms of using Web 2.0s for link building, is it still effective? As John Mueller from Google saying otherwise. Thoughts? So I am going to say one thing, and then I'm going to pass it to Chris. What John Mueller says isn't always the truth. That's all I'm going to say. But Chris, that is... so this whole John Mueller says, I don't like that kind of comment. It's just laughable. You know, John Mueller's there. It's his job to throw you off the scent. But Chris, do Web 2.0s for link building still work?
That's an interesting question. Not all Web 2.0s for every single SERP. Like it used to be, hey, there used to be lists. These are the most powerful Web 2.0s. Now it depends on the keyword and on the SERP. Google only rewards one or two different types per SERP. And you can see that. Put in any keyword, start taking a look down the list on the first page, second page, third page. You're going to see at least one, maybe two Web 2.0s that are actually getting up there. So the strategy now that works for me that I know, I don't know about anybody else, is figuring out, okay, for these keywords and these different variations and all the different kinds of keywords that you want, which Web 2.0s for those SERPs are actually going to get some type of credit or use, right? Because I think anything else is just worthless. And you keep seeing recurring theme though, like there's particular ones that are a little better than others. So
that's what I was going to reword the question to you, Chris. So I'm going to ask a second follow-up question.
Sure.
In terms of Web 2.0s, say there was Blogger, or there was a bunch of other stuff that are not as frequently used. Do you believe Blogger, what would you go for? The stuff that is not as frequently used, or would you still go for Blogger? Or do you feel the kind of bigger ones like Blogger are just, that's the ones that Google kind of devalue because they've been abused so badly for the years.
I mean, Blogger has its own place, but it's not for that. I generally am looking for the hidden gems.
Yeah.
That's usually because I don't want, usually. Because
you don't want to say everyone else has got, basically, is the point I'm trying to extract from you. You have to think, if every Tom, Dick, and Harry's using Blogger and Wix, then you want something different, probably something a bit more unique that still carries a bit of power. So that is the way you have to look at it, regardless of what John Mueller says. Now, even if John Mueller did say that and he was kind of telling the truth, can Google detect every Web 2.0? They probably can, but are they kind of penalising every Web 2.0? Probably not. Like, Blogger's been abused to death to the point where I would say I probably wouldn't bother. I'm not saying you won't or I don't use it, but you've just got to look for something a bit more unique is the point I'm trying to get across with that. So hopefully that helps you, mate. Just look for stuff that no one else has got that packs a bit of power. Try and be a bit unique in your Web 2.0 strategy and see what happens. I think you'll find good results from that.
And really take a look at the competitors. Like, because you'll start finding hidden gems like within these Web 2s, because a lot of them are like, they'll build like because some of them you could buy the domain too, like a domain through them, and then it's on their platform. So as you're building your stuff, they're like building stuff behind it. So there's like a subdomain too. It's an interesting. In any case, make sure you're looking at your competitors and do a little bit more digging. And then the helpful hint is look for subdomains.
Yeah,
there you go.
Sorry, I meant to follow this up with Gihan's question. Does blog commenting still work as a link building strategy? Is it worth the time? So obviously in terms of indexing and stuff like that, blog commenting works. Do you see it as a good link building strategy? And that's my phone, by the way.
Oh, it's yours? Okay. I thought it was like Skype or something. I'm like, what is this?
So yeah. Do you think blog commenting worked from a link building strategy?
I personally look at any instance on. I like it for like almost co-citation. I like to put associated words next to a link. Whether it does or it doesn't, they're so easy and so fast and just so seamless to build. It's very simple for me to go out and create 20,000 no-follow blog comments that are surrounded by hyper-relevant text on a relatively okay domain that's talking about my topic. It's very simple to go do that. So if I can go get NAP plus a link going to an internal page at scale very quickly by clicking a button, I mean, why? I mean, I like it. It's part of a little process. Yes, I like it.
So yeah, make it part of your process. Don't make it the only part of the process.
No, not the only.
You're not going to move the needle that well if you're only doing that. So don't focus on it too much. Going back, you can buy your early bird tickets just now for until tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm gonna go to. I really want to go to SEO Rockstars because I was one of those like lurkers. Like I've been watching. I want to go and see what it's like.
Mate,
I already told my wife I'm going. This is the year. I'm going to these freaking things. Yeah. Anyway.
So, Rich Devman, thank you very much, mate. All is well. Great guy, Rich Devman, and hope you go to some of these events too, Rich. You can buy early bird tickets now, Chris, until tomorrow. The contest details get released tomorrow. So that I think that's for Brad and Mike. The contest thing's going to be about. It's like a Beat Holly contest. So they were talking about that mass page thing and beating Holly and maybe even rewarding someone with some cash or whatever if they can beat Holly. Cash, yeah. So, but if you're going to take on Holly, they're not hopeful that anyone's actually going to be able to beat Holly. They know Holly fairly well and watch what she does, and they are fairly confident. Even with an age domain, even with other stuff, Holly's not going to be beatable. So, I want someone to fight that back. As much as I love Holly, I want someone to fucking take the fight. I'm not taking it on. I ain't going to beat Holly. But yeah, Chris, can you do it?
I love Holly, man. I don't know, man. I might be able to have. I might have somebody that can help me out with something like this.
Beat her, man. Beat her. These people fight Holly. So anyone interested in taking on Holly, potentially winning some money, getting some kudos online, do it, man. It will be fun to watch. But I'm going to give it a bash. But knowing what Holly's got behind her, it's going to be fucking hard, realistically, to beat her. But yeah, that's all I'm going to say. Gaming like a sir. Hey guys, I bought links from a vendor you guys know well and is well known. Within days of being indexed, the site has dropped to page 12 from page 1. What would you advise next? Site has been stable previously. So, one, this can happen. You know, that drop as a result of the Google update, or was it as a result of those links? How many links did you buy, and stuff like that? You know, pointing a few guest posts from a vendor isn't likely to tank your website. You know, to page 12, that's not likely to be the case. Did that coincide with you know, the core update that came out? That could be the case. When did you buy the links? Have they even kicked in yet? Who knows? You know, there was a lot of movement for a lot of people, even though they have been stable for years, and that was a result of not buying links, but the core update. So you would need more information before before we could really comment on that. But it's most likely going to be the core update, I would imagine, rather than the links that have tanked that website. What do you think, Chris?
Well, if you're building links, that probably means you're doing a lot of other things too, or have just done. Plus, there was an update. Plus, when you introduce a factor, the site's going to pop down. So it's not the time to start doing stuff. When I build a bunch of links, I want to sit back. You know, give it 14 days. Like, how long has it been? You know, I would venture to guess that you're just jumping the gun. I would just sit back and stop touching stuff. Just let it chill.
Yeah, let it chill. Let's see how it goes. But let us know when these links were bought and stuff. Eric McDonald, he finds John Mueller's statements contradictory. He seems to be a Google shill. That is his job. Google have got to protect themselves as well, so I get it. He's a nice guy and all that. He's just doing his job, so he's got his place in the world. It's up to you to try and test your own methods and see what works, regardless of what he says. And from your testing, then you can make choices on whether it's accurate stuff that he's saying. That's what I would say to any SEO test. Don't just believe. So, yeah, that's what you've got to do. Simon Hogbin. Hi, Craig and Chris. Hope you're well, mate. How is things in sunny Yorkshire? Eric McDonald, thanks for the pointers. Randy Rodé saying, Chris, get your flight soon. He got a great deal for 350 quid return.
Wow.
It's always good. So I'm not sure what the flight prices are like internally, but that seems like a good deal for me.
Yeah, that seems cheap.
Yeah. RLA beat Holly and Watt. So the contest, and James Moore's asking as well. And Holly said, right, so Chris, are you scared to take on Holly? So the contest it's going to be a mass page website contest, and it's just a bit of fun. But people are going to try and see who does the best with the mass page builders, and who can rank for the most stuff. The keywords and niche and all that kind of stuff are going to be dropped tomorrow on the nfgseo.com/webinar. So check that out and you'll find out more details on the contest. But it is mass page builder, and see who does the best over what have we got now? Probably 2 months to before the event at the end of September. So the details are going to be announced. You can start the ASAP. Holly reckons she's going to need a month to roll out her shit, which is fine. So yeah, if you want to get involved, James Moore or anyone else, just for fun, yeah, why not? You know, it's something to explore, something to play around with, and see who does the best. So Yeah, there you go. Jihan, thanks for the answer. Gaming like a sir. Months have been live for 4 weeks. So the new links have been live for 4 weeks. All dropped in the past 5 days. Only links in 6 months for these two. So again, was it the links that caused it to tank, or was there something else? You know, people try and blame the links when they've maybe got poor on page or whatever it might be, or the website's slow or whatever. You know, there's a number of different things. If you want to message me privately, I can have a look for you and give you an honest answer. I don't particularly do client work, but if you want a non-salesy, honest, genuine answer on, what could have went wrong, I'm more than happy to look, but just message me on Facebook or whatever. Sackwolane, Google link spam update, so off-page SEO. Guest post, no follow, so what to do now? So obviously John Mueller wants people to say these are guest posts or sponsored posts or whatever. That people are not going to follow that. People are not going to do Google's jobs for them.
All my vendors gave me discounts.
I mean, you think about this sensibly. Who the fuck is going to pay for a no-follow post? No one. So people are just going to have to kid on. It's a general post, and that's just the way life works. So you either do what Google tell you and do their job for them, or you go under the radar and do your thing. So
yeah, you're either playing the game or you're not. I mean, it's it's not a 1 foot in, 1 foot out. You're either in or you're out. Like, you can go by the book and it's going to take you like 2 years, or you can just speed it up just a slightly bit.
Bend the rules slightly, see what happens.
Yeah, just a little bend. Yeah, that's it right there. You're just doing a slight bend. Buy a couple posts, spin up some supporting content. I don't know. Who knows? I don't know. I actually do really bad with the spun stuff. I used to do a lot better.
Yeah.
I have noticed with whatever happened in this little update here, that's something like people were asking me about the update. Something that I've noticed is I used to be able to take 100% duplicated content, switch out all the branding and the geo modifiers, post it, hit first page. Now, I just did that for New York. I think it's like number 14. And I'm like, not doing so good.
Yeah, I think you're becoming cleverer to strategies and things that people are doing. You just need to do more. Simple as that. But anyway, Roy Erickson saying he drove by your apartment in Tamaqua. Is it okay if I knock on your door and come and hang
out? Well, you can knock on the glass door here. It's a open. Yeah, come through by yourself.
Do you know this guy?
No, not really. But I mean, I run a scale here. I mean, it's the doors. I mean, people come in all the time, so it's kind of normal, Yeah, I have a scale here. I mean, people like we buy gold and silver, and well, I do. So I have a scale, and I get randoms pretty frequently here. So it's normal. And
normal question.
I don't know about hang out, but maybe.
I'm good at making good intentions. Holly starts saying we should do a pop dream team duo again when we're in Vegas. Would have to be on Friday late afternoon, just an hour or two, guys. What the hell is a pop dream team? What does that even mean? Do you know what that means, Chris?
I don't think so. I maybe I do, and I just don't recall. I don't think so though.
What have you two guys been up to? But guys, keep the questions coming. We still have 23 minutes to go. Us for doing a stream. Oh, right. That's cool. We can do that. Let's go again doing a stream. Always happy to have you guys doing a stream. So yeah, let's do it. Why the hell not?
I'll host it. Holly, Craig, Randy. That sounds good.
You can host it in your channel. You arrange it with Holly, and I'll be there.
All right.
Because we've done the last one on my channel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll
let's do
host
it.
it. I mean, you'll probably get. I don't get that many, but last time I had Holly, dude, it was crazy, dude. It was crazy. I was like so stunned.
But for anyone who doesn't follow Chris, do check him out. Chris Palmer SEO on YouTube. You'll find him fairly easily. Videos are not quite as good as mine, but he does all right. So, but yeah, he's doing a lot of frequent videos. So check him out. And get that show in. Randy Rodé has said he is in, so everyone's agreed. So Chris, you just need to sort a day and a time.
Yeah, whenever wait, it says right here. So it would be August the 13th or 14th. So 13th or 14th. 14th. All right. That's fine. That's a Wednesday. Tuesday, Wednesday. That's easy. No problem.
Nah. She's saying Friday or Saturday.
Okay. Maybe I'm looking. Oh, I'm looking at July. Sorry.
So
yeah, Friday, Saturday. Yeah, either one of those days. Not a Saturday, but a Friday would be cool for me.
Friday work for me. I don't want to work on a Saturday, but
yeah, weekends. I'm gone 14 hours a day. I can't. Saturday, Sunday, I gotta be home.
Yeah. Well, let's do Friday then, if we can. Randy and Holly arrange it with Chris. I'll happily be there. We'll get the dream team back, and we'll do that. And what did we chat about the last time? I can't even remember. But
everything.
Yeah, just a random chat. But it's always good to catch up, find out what people have been up to and stuff like that. So yeah, we'll definitely do it. Eric McDonald. I seen another chat. You mentioned that PR is a good service for press releases. Would this be a good option for UK-based sites? Price-wise, that look great value. Yes, Magic PR do well in the UK. The Newswire, which is Sizing or Sizing or however it's called, have both a UK and a US database. So yeah, they're solid for UK-based websites for sure. Check them out, man. Roy Erickson is asking, why don't all citations index, Chris?
That's a good question, because you're not you're not making them unique enough. And two, you should only be focusing on very specific ones if you're building to internal pages. But if you want to get a higher indexation rate, I recommend taking the time to create unique descriptions for the citation.
Mike Pierce said something yesterday, and it was the best way of saying this so that you understand. Mike Pierce said, and I'm going to start stealing it and using it as my own. He said, indexing something costs Google money. It's their server space and all that kind of stuff. Now, are they going to pay money to host a shit citation that's the same as 20 others that are out there? Absolutely not. They're looking for ways to cut you out. So it has to be unique. It has to add value. If not, it's going in the bin. They ain't paying. There's only so much money they can pay. There's only so much resources they have. And if your stuff is the same as it is on Yale.com and all of these other things,
that's right.
It's not good enough. Even if you do force index it, it'll eventually just get de-indexed and go in the bin anyway. So you can try all the tricks you want. The important thing is to make each citation as unique as you possibly can. Roy also asks, where is the best place to get citations, Chris, or should you just build on your own?
I mean, I could get you 250 of them for $35 if you're interested. You can message me. If you want them spun up, though, you got to do that yourself. But I'll get them submitted for you. My VA's been doing them. I'm about to launch that as a service too, along with the press releases. But yeah, right now $35 because I want to get a bunch of reviews. So if you want them now for $35, come on.
Come on. Ed Yates is asking, should you link to your GMB listing via your physical address in the footer of your website? Seems like a quick way for users to get directions. So would you do that?
I think you should follow Google's directive. They make it plain as day on attached to your Google My Business account. There's a section on the left-hand side that says website. If you go and take a look at the website that they provide for you, they're giving you the blueprint that they want to see. The call, the appointment, the directions, the hours and services, the embed. They give it to you. They just lay it out for you. So I would take a look at that and follow that as a guideline, because it's obvious that that's what they want to see, because that's how they gave it to you. That's what I do. And that's what I recommend. Same with the citations, how the gentleman was talking about being indexed. There's a forward-facing index, and then there's the index. Just because you're not seeing it in search results doesn't mean that it's not there. And then also Google rewards freshness. So just like how your press releases are getting consistently purged out, not only from the person who's launching them, but from Google themselves. So citations, if Google is honoring freshness, why wouldn't you, for such a cheap thing and something that's impactful for the business, why wouldn't you be refreshing your citations and also building more to your internal pages for other locations that you have? Yeah. So they're so cheap and so easy, and they're a neutral. I like to keep them fresh. I like to keep building them. I like to spin the descriptions. I would keep them fresh, man. Keep them fresh.
Freshness is what Google want
all day.
Yeah. BK SEO, good to see you, mate. Got a paper lead site targeting one city. The city name isn't the domain name, but there is another city right next to it that I can expand to. Should I build a location page or a brand new website?
The city name's in the domain name, but there's another city right next to it that I can expand to. Should I build? Well, if there's another city that you want to hit, if there's volume there and it's worth you having a standalone page, then build the page. But if it's just so close and it's like very close and there's no volume by itself, maybe just having that word on the city that you're already optimized for on that page, just include that one time. You probably show up in that city. So I would base that off of volume and how much authority you already have. Because honestly, just having it one time or in like an H3, you could probably bring that in. It just depends on the site. So it just depends, but take a look and see the volume. Is it worth having a page?
Also on this, Mark's Lawrence SEO, £10 for the fish supper. He was in my office last night and I bought him his dinner. But so I appreciate that, Mark. But Mark, I've got one other thing. I had someone in earlier and they took it from this can. Mark will know exactly what I'm talking about. So that's all I'm going to say on that. Holly is asking where live I fan out with phone questions. Yeah, he's not been about. He was on yesterday. Still going on about fucking some crazy shit. But yeah, what a guy. Nihan has a question. When you do guest posting for the first time for a new website, how do you pace out the links? Please answer for a brand new website and a couple of years old website. Now, Gihan, you are thinking about this slightly wrong. You probably, wouldn't have the budget to get yourself banned or anything. It's all down to your budget. Now, if you have £1,000 or you have £3,000, just let's take those two figures. You're going to buy guest posts. They don't all go live at the same time. You're going to have different vendors and different websites and all that kind of stuff. So they're not all going live at the same time on every single day that goes out there. There's content to be created and all that kind of stuff. So I wouldn't be worried about the pace of it. If it's a brand new website, you need more guest posts just to get a bit of power and stuff like that. Even if it's a couple of years old and you're not ranking that well, you need more guest posts. You want to hit it as hard as your budget allows. Now, unless you're going to tell me you've got $100,000 a month and you're going to buy up all sorts, hang on a minute, don't buy that many. But in general, most people are not going to have enough money to get themselves penalised buying guest posts, is all I would say. So, buy quality over quantity, mix it up, use different vendors and all that kind of stuff. Mix up your anchor text and all that kind of stuff. And that's it. I wouldn't worry about the pace of them. Just go and buy up a bunch of shit, see how it works. And if it moves the needle, then buy some more until you get to where you need to be. Now, because obviously you might follow that up with a question of, well, how many should I buy? Is it 5? Is it 10? Is it 110? No one knows the answer to that. Now, buy 10 and then decide from there, after they kick in, whether you need to buy another 5, another 2, or whatever, because no one knows the answer. So hopefully that helps you. But would you have anything to add to that, Chris?
No, that's exactly what I was going to say. It depends on your budget. For a new site, I'll do a lot more in the very beginning, all depending on budget. But whatever you can afford on a consistent velocity, that's what I would stick to. And then 2, what's the benchmark? What do your top leading competitors have with, DR ratings 30 plus or 40 plus? Like, what's the benchmark that I need to reach to hit authority? And that would just be a guideline, not saying you have to hit that. And then what can I afford on a consistent monthly basis, with the beginning 2 or 3 months being a little bit more, maybe double, and paying more emphasis on the pages that I really want to rank. Because I might still have a baseline every month going to the homepage, which trickles down. But as I'm launching pages that I really want to perform, I might send or allocate a little bit more budget to those pages. So it all comes down to budget, man. You hit the nail, man. It's all budget. But if you do run into that $100,000 a month deal, though, I give you my number. I have a lot of vendors that could probably help you out. I've never yet met anyone, me personally, not yet, that had $100,000 a month just for links. Have you, Craig?
No.
Okay. No.
No, but just in case you did have some crazy, it's not right for me to assume you don't have enough money. It's also not right for me to assume that you do have enough money. So just wanted to put that out there. If it's excessive, £100,000 is excessive for link building. So,
let's take that from another stance. What do you think is a more, tangible, or like what's more realistic on a monthly recurring basis? If I'm launching a new 2, 4, 6, 8 blog posts a month, I have a site. What do you think would be a budget to have success in a medium competition type market?
A medium competition. I was going to say it really does boil down to the competition. So if I'm looking at it and, I've got 5 links and everyone else has got like a DR60. Now, I'm not saying chase DR here, but, they've got 128 links that I think are really good. Then I am going to sit there and say, right, for the next 6 months, I'm going to need to spend X amount of money doing that. And, you've got to calculate up, I can't say a specific price because vendors charge different prices to different people. I might get a good deal. Chris might get shafted for it. So I can't give you an exact figure, but when you're starting out and you've got to catch up in the competition, you are going to need several £1,000s a month to be realistic, to even come close to doing well. Throwing $500 at it is not enough. Buying 2 or 3 guest posts is what you would get for that. So I think you have to hit the ground running with a bit of pace, and whether that's 2,000, 5,000, 3,000, whatever, it obviously comes down to what you're up against. But also, I think just to get the point across clear, many people fail at SEO because they're not spending enough on the right stuff. They don't invest enough. Do you really think spending $300, $400, $500 a month is going to make you millions of pounds a year? Absolutely not. So anything that's worth ranking for is going to take potentially thousands of pounds worth of link building and everything else. Now, people talk about how much should you spend, what should you buy. Now, see, a business is turning over £1 million a year. So most businesses will probably spend between 5 and 10% of that on marketing. Now, from there, you might run Google ads, and you might spend 20 grand a year on it, 10 grand in Facebook, X amount of money in SEO. Some of that money's then got to be divvied up into link building, content, and all that kind of stuff. So, I don't think there's an exact figure. Can I do better work for a guy that's got £2,000 a month or a guy that's got 4,000? Obviously, the guy that's got 4,000, things can happen a lot quicker. There's more budget to buy more things, and that's just the nature of the job. So things will take longer if you try and go slowly at it. And I think but for me, Chris, the point I want to get across is you have to hit it with a certain amount of pace. If you hit it too slowly, I just don't think that gets you the lift you need. I think, you've just got to hit the sweet spot and spend the right money on it. And it would definitely be a couple of grand a month I'd be spending on it for something that was medium competition. Something below competition, you could, spend a grand, 500 quid, whatever. But medium competition, for me, probably a grand, maybe up to 5 grand. You're going to need.
Sorry.
No worries. But what about you, Chris? What would you want to spend?
I always want to spend the least amount of possible. I gave the exact equation. I'm looking at what's the top performer, what do they have, what do I need to reach, and then I'm trying to get there for the cheapest possible. So there's I think that's where the because anybody could get there with 10 grand or 20 grand. So for me, it's all about, well, how can I get there for 4? So that's just how I operate. That's just me. I can't help myself.
You always want, because it's profitability for you as a company as well. If you're doing that as a service, you've got to meet.
Oh, I dropped.
Sorry, I dropped out there. Yeah, what I was saying is, that's where it depends. I might get charged a cheaper rate than you and all that kind of stuff. So sometimes, your personality or whatever can get you better deals. So, or who you are or whatever. So, you've also got to take that into account, which is why you can't give that exact figure. But the cheapest way to success is, as long as it works, is always good.
Agreed.
Anyway, Roy,
that's always. I have found though too. I don't know what I was thinking, but there's something there. Like, you can always charge more, but what I have found is, as long as you can keep them on longer, as long as you're fair.
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Don't annihilate people. Do you know what I mean?
I get a lot of vendors though.
Yeah.
I go to them, they're like 250, 300 a link, and I'm looking, I'm like, I don't know, dude. I think I can get this for 50.
That's why I make videos on it. Do not be caught by a middleman
right, exactly.
when you're buying links, because you have to shop around and get the best prices possible so that your profit works. Why go and pay someone £200 when you get it yourself for 50? Just does not make sense. So shop around. Be careful who you buy from.
And you are going to lose money. You almost got to allocate towards it. Like, especially if you're just trying out. Usually you don't want to go shopping because you'll get your couple of vendors that, okay, this guy's got quality for a fair price, and they're always straight up with you. But sometimes I do like to dabble to see if I could get, like, I tried a couple of guys. I know I shouldn't, on like Fiverr. Like, I gave this one dude trying to get like Forbes links and stuff. And dude, it never pans out. So these dudes like $700. I'm like, all right, $700 Forbes link. Let's do it. Next thing you know, I'm like, damn, it's been like 3 weeks. Where's my link, bro?
I could show you a story right now on People Forever where a guy said he could get me in the New York Times, $1,200.
And you're like, all right.
Now, I already bought a different link from him, and he gave me the link very quickly. So I had no reason to disbelieve him. But it was part of a conversation. I paid him, and it wasn't through the normal thing. He basically just sent me an invoice in People Forever. It wasn't going to pay for his gig, so the money wasn't held in escrow. Then the guy disappeared, but he rocks up. He disappeared for like 5 months. Now I just laughed and thought, yeah, I've been fucking had, never again. But the guy rocked up last week saying, oh yeah, man, sorry, I got COVID. And I'm like, what, for fucking 6 months? So he's apparently trying to get me again, but yeah, the guy fucking robbed me blind. So
bamboozler.
Yeah.
Bamboozled you. Out of a stack? Damn, dude. He might lose his life for that.
Yeah.
Jeez.
He's nowhere to be traced. I have tried to chase him down, find out who he was and all that shit. But yeah, fake name on People Forever. But
it happens though. I never got burned for that much, but I've been burned for like 50s and 70s and hundreds and twos. That hurts though. It hurts my heart. Like, guys, I wouldn't do that. Like, you got somebody that's willing to give you bread. Don't you want them to come back and keep buying stuff from you?
Exactly.
Like, why would you burn me? That's so stupid. I would have kept coming back, dude. Anyway,
we have a couple of minutes left, so we will go through. We've got 6 minutes left, so we'll go through as many of these questions as we can. Roy Erickson, is it possible to get a GMB verified without a postcard? One guru was selling the service, then a week later he said it's impossible to do because apparently people got burned. Is it possible, Chris?
It is possible. It's possible.
But
it is possible. And two, like, it's possible, but it's not. I personally wouldn't feel confident. And I had a guy that was very consistent. I was buying a lot from him at a particular time. And then I send some people and they were happy. Then I sent another guy, which was a long-time client of mine. I said, dude, this dude's rock solid. And the dude never delivered. It was only a couple things. It was okay. But with that being said, even if somebody has been getting lucky or has a good process, the next day it could change.
Yeah.
So it's, if you can get the deliverable up front or do half and then other half, then I might do it. But other than that, man, just be careful with that. It changes so often, but there is a couple ways that have been consistently working, but I highly doubt anybody's just going to give it to you.
Yeah.
You know, what's that worth? I don't know. Too much.
Yeah, so BKSU is going to try out your advice. Ed Yates, exact match internal links. Can you go overboard with that, Chris?
Not in my opinion. No, it's something that you control that. Why? No, you can't. Not in my opinion. I mean, I'm sure you can. Let's be serious here. Like, I don't want you to go out and create 50,000 internal links or like something crazy. But I mean, you know what I mean, dude. Don't go stupid with it. But I think you'll be okay. There's no overboard.
Cool. R. Prosser, client does windows, siding, and roofs. GMB primary category is windows. How much non-windows type content should be on or in his site, GMB, without Google ranking him lower versus his competitors who do Windows only? So if a guy's doing Windows roofs and all that fucking shit, you know, how much of the non-window type content should be on his website? Should he keep it to Windows only? Is adding the roofing a problem, in your opinion?
Yeah, I run into this with clients. When I get this on board with myself, then I'm always like, well, where's the money, right? And 9 times out of 10, it's going to be this service, but I get a couple of these. You know, if GMB Maps is your primary ranking, I would make my main idea, my main service is this, and that's the site. If you have another one and you want to do something else, create that site, create that other property. But I have found higher success by keeping it one idea, one product, one service. This is what we do, and it's all about that. That's it. Like, I'm the guy for this, and it lifts, man. So I'd look at the numbers and figure out it's very easy to go launch another site, and then you can always do at the same address without any issue.
Yeah,
you know, dude. Hey, I also have this business here at this address. It's Suite B or whatever you want. I don't know.
Niche down is what I would say. Niche down and become a specialist in a particular subject per property rather than a jack of all trades.
Definitely.
Less confusion for Google. So there you go. And BKSEO, what's your ideal links ratio for homepage to other pages? As my pay-per-lead site has mostly links to a homepage, how could I branch out and get links to other pages? This is a question I get asked all the time, Chris. Now, for me, what would I want to link to? Now, I'm going to look at my rankings and I'm going to see that I've got page 1 rankings, position 1 rankings, and all that stuff. I don't need to build any more links to them. But the stuff that's in the middle of page 1, top end of page 2, that I need to nudge up, the ones that are getting traffic, those are the ones I would want to build links to get them moving in the right direction. But also, look at your pages that are generating the most traffic. You may want to build some links to some of those just to consolidate your rankings as well. Look through what is driving the most traffic. What is the most valuable pages to you? You don't have to link to every page, but if you go to Ahrefs and you look at your top pages or whatever, then you can see essentially there what you need to do. It's telling you, like, this is in position 6 and it's got no fucking links or whatever. You know, bash a couple of links at that, bash a couple of links at that. That one's in position 1, it's got 5,600 traffic per month. I maybe bash a few at that as well to make sure that I'm not shifted off top slot for that, because that's probably my biggest source of traffic and revenue. So don't forget to consolidate your rankings. Because you're position 1 now doesn't mean you're always going to be there. People will come up and try and pinch that. So you look at your top traffic pages is what I would do, Chris. But what about you?
I mean, an ideal ratio is depending on who you're trying to win, like, against. So the ideal ratio for me is the power always trickles down from the homepage. But if there's something that's highly competitive on a internal page, and it's going to take me a lot more, then the ratio has to go up higher on that page. It's a keyword by keyword basis. It's as easy as that. I don't think there's a magic ratio for that. I don't think so.
Cool. There is no magic ratio in my opinion either. Eric McDonald, if a client has multiple product sets and a lot of keyword targets they want to rank for, do you take a phased approach?
Multiple product sets and a lot of keyword targets. Do I take a phased? Well, it depends on their budget.
Yeah. So, but let's say someone's got t-shirts, trousers, and shoes. Are you going to target the t-shirts first, then the trousers, then the shoes, or?
Well, my first question is going to be, what is your primary seller? And it's usually going to be 1 or 2 products. Yeah. Okay, well, that's where we're going to focus our energy first. Then as we can get a lift there, then we can allocate more budget towards and then start moving it on. So I guess it is phased, but for me, it's where's the money coming from? Let's optimize. Let's take care of that. We'll build out more supporting content based on that and maybe do some other type of marketing, whatever fits within your realm of marketing. And then we'll start moving into the other stuff. But I don't just like start doing everything. No, I don't. No.
There's got to be some kind of planning and strategy, and going after the money is the way you do it.
Yeah.
Eric McDonald, also waiting on organic rankings. Yeah, sorry, Chris.
One more thing. Let me add one more thing. But then there's another aspect of that, because he might say, hey, or she, this stuff is winning, right? And this is my most profitable. But when you go take a look at their analytics and where they're generating their traffic, you'll see that Google is rewarding them over here. So when that happens too, we'll give a slight lift on this stuff as we're working on the most profitable in his mind. But if I go and I look and Google's rewarding him, he sells pants and shoes and shirts, but Google's giving him all pants, but he really wants to sell shoes. Dude, you're a pants guy. Google's telling you're the pants guy. We got more pants we could sell here. So that's another thing just to take into account. Google's funny, man.
You're a pants guy.
Yeah, you're a pants guy.
Final question of the day, Eric McDonald. Whilst you're waiting on your SEO kicking in, do you add in some AdWord campaigns?
Heck yes. That's one of the very first things for me. Yes, I do. Along with other things too, because I want to spike up. Yes.
Marketing or selling products is not all about just SEO. If you can get traffic and revenue from Facebook, from GMBs, from Quora, from fucking, I don't know, LinkedIn, whatever, do whatever works from the get-go just to get revenue going and clicks and traffic. That is going to help your SEO in some way. So 100% you would want to do that, and say maybe continue with that as well. Make sure your traffic comes from multiple sources, and as long as you're getting the return on your investment, why wouldn't you? So hope that helps. One final one, and then we are stopping. Client has 4 GMBs, different cities, 1 main location. Should service pages geo-generic and have 4 separate location pages, or keyword for main location on 3 service pages and 3 location pages for the other?
All right. He's got 4 GMBs in 4 different cities. So he has 4 entities in 4 places. Okay, go back to that question. Okay.
Got it.
Service pages, geo. So he has 4 different cities, all doing the same service. What I would do is, if he has those properties, I'd be building those GMBs to the internal pages, and I'd be creating, whatever city / keyword it is. So I'd be creating product / city pages based on each of those. I wouldn't just let it run wild. And then I'd be pointing in those GMBs into those pages. And then the homepage would be based on brand. I hope that makes sense. That's
hopefully that makes sense for Mr. R. Prosser or Mrs. R. Prosser, whatever you may be. But yeah, that's all for us this week, guys. We will be back again, same time next week. Make sure you do like and subscribe to the channel. Do check out Chris on Chris Palmer SEO, and we will see you all again next week. So have a good one, guys, and we'll catch you soon. Cheers.
See you guys. Thanks, Craig. Thank you, everyone.